ethics as a subject for the management student, and I'm sure that student must be studying those. So
Right.
business ethics it comes from what values one person the person brings on the table. And these values, generally, if you look at it, those are built in through the education system and at families, right? But then when you start working under the organizational stress, or maybe in organization, how are you going to cope up with those things, right? How are you going to look at those things, right? So if you look at it,
Yes.
all these cases which we were talking about, how the founders are operating, right, without the accountability, that is what is being discussed right now. Or maybe the lack of transparency is again a business ethics, right, which is a part of that. Or when we talk about external auditors which are failing to question the irregularities which are happening obviously in the companies. I think the role of everyone plays an important role, could be employee or employer. So how are you really building up your own I don't want to say this, but yato dharma tato jayaha, right? So I think that's very loudly been seen when we go through all these cases where the processes, procedures, policies are very well implemented, system is implemented successfully. I think that makes a huge difference, right? I think the ethical part is required to be developed by each of us, management institutions, UGC, in their, if you look at it, in the national education policy also, we see to it that how we can ensure that, right, in terms of interacting with the stakeholders, which includes customers, employees, investors, suppliers, regulators, right, and even in the public domain. So when we talk about the core of the principles of business ethics, I'm sure everyone will agree with, yeah, with these thoughts. Like, of course, integrity is important, right? So being honest, consistency, trustworthiness is very important. Transparency, we always talk about open communication, having the disclosure of relevant information. I think that is very important, followed by your accountability. So everyone who is working in the organization structure has to have to take the responsibility for the actions and their consequences. And that is what is being taught through the management principles and management, all the laws which we teach, business laws, corporate law, or the labor laws, right, the compensation act. All are these nothing but taking everyone towards, or financial assessment, through the strategic management. I think these are very important. So accountability, implementation of it, fairness, right, I think that's very very essential, which really which need to be looked into it, because most of the time, it has been found in all these cases that the stakeholders are not treated equitably. And then we move towards more towards discrimination or exploitation in term. And I think this is what is required to be done. And that's why I think whistleblower, that is what we always discuss it in the classroom, that who is going to do that, right? So who is going to raise the flag or red the flagging it? I think the respect and compliances, sustainability, all these are the things which are the part of our business ethics. Because see, at the end of the day, the business ethics matters because I think it goes towards reputation and trust, and not only that, employee morale also. So I think we need to really work on it. We know it that unethical behavior move towards fraud and misleading marketing or discrimination, environmental negligence. I think we need to really very very stringent, not through the law, but I think one has to be committed with our own work ethics. And if that is there, I think I'm sure that, because see, business ethic is not optional. It is very much essential for the sustainable success, and companies have to uphold the strong ethical standards. And therefore it's not the only to avoid the legal trouble, but we should thrive through the public trust. We need to take care of employee satisfaction, stakeholders loyalty. I think these things are very important to us, and therefore when we take the decisions in the context of ethics, I think we need to recognize the ethical issues, we need to collect the facts, we need to evaluate the alternatives, we need to consider the stakeholder, and then we should take the decision, we should implement that decision, we should look what how we are implementing it, and how that act and reflecting will happen in the organization. I think I think if we start working on these areas, I'm sure the students from HR, student from marketing domain, student from financial domain and operation specialization, they will understand what we are talking about and how these things are required to be implemented to avoid such. Because see, companies really make so much of effort, they reach to a level where they can enjoy the brand and the success, but these kind of issues really spoil, or
Affect the
we can
brand.
see that the downfall of a company
Downfall of a
can be
company.
sent,
Right,
right? So
right. Right.
thank you so much.
Yes,
So
yes,
very nice examples have been shared here.
yes.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chayali. Great thoughts. To come back to Jaideep, basically, I will combine two questions into one for you, and we will close with that. I would like to understand from you some of the, when we talk about ethics, compliance keeping aside, it's easier said than done, right? Very good ethics and all those things. But I want to understand from you, what are the key management lessons one can take away from the BluSmart story? Given that, there are two aspects to it, I personally feel. One is when young entrepreneurs come into a business and they set it up, they come with a passion, probably. Okay. Why probably? They do come with a passion. But at the same time, when free flow of money from investors without any due diligence, without any checks and balances, when investors are only solely driving for the brand growth, that's easy money. That's a lot of money which is getting into the system, right? So, A, how as managers, how do you, or entrepreneurs, keep your head straight, and don't get swayed by those, the greenbacks and see that, okay, tomorrow I can go and buy a house at Camellias, or I can have a sports car or something like that, instead of putting that money into the actual business. That's one side of it. The second is, there is a lot of pressure, from investors, from, the stakeholders, from the brand's growth also, for performance,
Yeah.
because you're in the intense competitive market, where you have, in the case of, let's say, a BluSmart, where you have an Ola and a Uber, competing highly in the market. You have something to prove yourself. So you need to scale up. You need to, show things big. You need to dress it up for investors, everything, right? So there is a pressure also. So these are two aspects of it. From here, I want to distill it down to, what could be these management lessons, one can learn from here?
Okay, yeah, I mean, there are too many questions. I don't think I have much clue of most of that. In terms of management lessons, few, usual boring lessons, I'll probably, quickly mention them, which Dr. Sayali actually covered much of it in some form or the other. Is that the more, usual ones, I would think, of course, the overriding one is that there are no shortcuts. And ethics is not optional, as she said, and I also said that ethics is voluntary when nobody is looking at you. So one is, paramount importance of corporate governance. That is, of course, must. And things which we have seen elsewhere also, independent oversight, independent active board of, directors, including independent directors, is crucial. Doesn't happen. Why BluSmart? It has not happened in much larger
Organizations.
organizations. Yeah. Robust internal controls. I mean, these are things, and then related party transactions. I'm again coming to related party and off balance sheet financing, because these are things which are very relevant from BluSmart perspective. It may not be relevant for all the scams that we have said. Related party, how do you define related party? Should there be a threshold? Those internal controls needs to be there. Easier for me to say, or you to say, or anybody on this kind of call to say. Financial discipline, transparency over, as you said, growth at all costs should be avoided.
Avoided, yeah.
Yeah, growth at all costs, because someday, sooner than later,
True.
all cost will come back and haunt you in such a bad way. Byju's 22 billion valuation, raising finance at 300 million, and now I don't know if at all anything. Even
True.
another hospitality organization going to the planning to go to the capital markets third time. Oyo, this
Yes.
hotel.
Mm.
I mean, this is not an example of any scam or something, but the valuation has come down because again, growth at all costs, too much, all those things are, glaring examples. So these are things are there, discipline, transparency, due diligence, but finally that all, and all the regulatory vigilance, etc., all that is there, all the compliance related thing, but finally it comes to integrity, which starts from the top.
Right.
Leadership,
Very true.
and
I think, yeah,
clear.
true.
So
Leadership sets the tone.
basically, what you're saying is the leaders have to
I would
prioritize.
like to add,
Sure.
yeah, I think, yes, yeah. I
Go
think
ahead.
very honestly, he's saying I would like to add into it. I think one of the management lesson which I all feel is that regular audits are essential. So this part is required to be done, and I think the leadership is not should not be the subject to checks and balances, not cult like loyalty. I think we really need to understand this. What he was sharing all those. So I think financial integrity is also must be very the sacred. And there the things are really we need to look into it. Clean books, clear audit trails, and ethical financial conduct is really essential when you look at all these examples which we are referring to, because most of the time we feel like SEBI will take action and then things will, why should be someone governing us, right? I think that part is required to be, everyone has to really look into that, which leader is to be followed and how we can amplify the idol. I think most of the time, I think here in this case I'll say that don't idolize the founders. So I think
Right.
this really they may be very bold statement, but I think that we should not, because being a teacher, I think we need to really look into it. And so that's why the business ethic is not the optional, compliance is not optional. So we have to really we have to create the culture in the organization which speak up. I've said that the safe channels of employees reporting, fear of retaliation should not be there in the minds. I think lot of the learnings from these cases, the because ethic and profit can coexist. I think this also we need to really look into it. Companies like
Yeah,
Tata
I
Group,
think
Infosys,
that's a great line
Unilever,
actually,
isn't it?
Dr. Gankar. I think you've made a great line over here. Ethics and profits, they should coexist. You know, uh,
Yes,
yeah, that's a good thing.
yes, because
Sorry
see,
to,
and I
yeah,
think thank
no, no,
you, thank you, thank you,
yes,
thank you,
no,
thank you.
carry on. You were saying something
Yeah.
because we are running out of time a little bit, so that's why I was kind of,
No,
coming.
I was, yes, I'll stop. No, no, that's what I think. There is no option for the integrity, transparency. I think
Right.
what
Yes.
we learn at family is that you work hard, you be honest, right? You be smart work. The smart work is also essential, but I think we should be very honest to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And if that honesty is committed to ourselves, we can make the wonders. And see, if I can see that today there's so much of opportunities which are there, because we are now third and fourth, that is what the largest economy. And if you look at the opportunities, I think if this generation, they are so smart, they are technology savvy, they have that risk appetite, families are ready to support, government is ready to support. I think if they come up with the good products and good innovation, the innovation and the organizational ethics, I'm sure they can make the wonders, right? But the and what has been said here, the shortcut can't run for the long time. So don't
Correct. That's true.
don't go for the shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
that is required to be taught at every place. And I think that's what I wanted to share. I'm really
No, right.
thankful to all of you
No, Dr. Gankar,
for giving me
you're
such an
absolutely right.
opportunity.
It's the family culture, the family values that Indians, the way we bring it to the table, and that should
Yes,
reflect
yes,
in the
yes,
organizations and all.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
with that, thank you so much,
Thank you.
both Dr. Gankar and Mr. Jaideep Ghosh,
Yeah.
for this very exciting and insightful thoughts and discussion over here. Now we will quickly move to the next agenda on the webinar, where we have the 3 toppers for the May Reward Case Study Challenge. The first position has been taken by Nishant Kumar. He's from Symbiosis Institute of Digital and Telecom Management, Pune, Maharashtra. He gets a cash award of
Oh, many
5,000.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Nishant, for being topping this award case study challenge. If you are logged in, you would like to hear a quick word from you. Before that, we would like to go through the other contestants as well. The second prize has been won by Bhavesh Shinde, Sydenham Institute of Management Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship Education, Mumbai. He wins a cash award of 3,000 rupees. Congratulations, Bhavesh. We would like you to welcome you and say a few words after Nishant. And the third position has been taken by Chaitra C, RNSIT MBA, RN Shetty Institute of Technology, Bengaluru, Karnataka. She wins a cash award of 2,000 rupees. Congratulations, Chaitra. You may come in for a few words after Nishant and Bhavesh. Thank you so much. Yes, Nishant.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, very happy to see myself as winner, and also thank you to Jaideep sir and Saili ma'am. It was such a lovely session and insightful session for me. And talking about the case study, I like to mention few of the points. What really helped me was obviously reading and being more updated about things that are happening. You can refer to different articles published in Business Standard or any other newspaper. And also YouTube was one of the very helpful medium that helped me to win this case study. And there are few business channels on YouTube that really dissected this Densol and BluSmart, all the fiasco that happened, and that's what really helped was to help lay a foundation for me to ace this case competition. And also something new that I came to know about through this case study that I like to mention is about different VCs and PEs firms that especially invest in green projects or green companies. So that was something really new to me. So I'm very happy to win this, and also the learning that I got to this case study. So that
Thank
was
you,
all from
Nishant.
my side. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Nishant. And we look forward to you winning, more and more in the upcoming case study award challenges.
Thank you,
Bhavesh?
sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Business Standard, BSmart, Ghosa and Kanka ma'am for this session and for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this case competition. It was a very unique one because usually within case competitions we team up with our colleagues and our classmates and we usually brainstorm the ideas. But we were here the sole decision maker, even though our decisions didn't really have any real world implications, but we felt the weight of it. And I'd like to thank all our faculty members at SIMSRI, that is Sydenham Institute, for their technical and other learnings that they've imparted. And again, I'd like to thank Business Standard for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhavesh. Can we call upon Chaitra, please?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I am Saitra, currently pursuing my MBA at RNS Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Firstly, I would like to sincerely thanks BSmart for giving me the opportunity to participate in this case study challenge. Being part of this platform, I had truly has helped me to sharpen my problem-solving skills and also encouraged me to think behind my academics. and it also had pushed me to approach challenges from new perspectives and also how to apply the real world logic in the structured manner. In my case, I actually focused on revival strategy for the BluSmart, emphasizing the leadership transition and structured funding and sustainable expansion. This experience gave me valuable insights into how business decisions can be both impactful as well as the practical. And I would also thank my college and my mentors for continuous support and guidance throughout this journey. Their encouragement was and motivated me to push my limits and embrace my learning at every step. And personally, this challenge taught me that importance of adaptability and strategic thinking in solving complex business problems and lessons I will carry forward. And once again, I will grateful to thank BSmart and everyone who supported me in this experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chaitra. And thank you everyone for logging in for this exciting webinar. I would like to conclude by announcing the next month's Reward Case Study Challenge topic. Very quickly, again, it is from one of the most topical and immediate incident that has happened just a while ago. It is about the Operation Sindoor and our defense capabilities that India has demonstrated in its action, to protect its land. So the title for the June case study challenge is what we are saying as want to enter India's military drone business? Do the math. Find out, because Operation Sindoor has showcased India's indigenous defense tech. As a military drone manufacturer, how do you plan your sector entry? How do you grow that business? And how do you establish it? Is something that you can look forward to in solving the case study challenge for June. Very quickly, again, the rewards remain the same. First prize is 5,000, second prize 3,000, and third prize 2,000. Certificates will be given to all eligible participants, and the timeline is the case study challenge case study brief is already up on the app and live. You can log in and go and start working on it. June 15th is the submission deadline. June 30th is the results will be declared, and on June 7th, the prize money will be disbursed. With that, we would like to come to the end of this series of the Award Case Study Challenge webinar. Thank you, everyone, and especially thank you to Jaideep and Mrs. Shayali Gankar for being with us. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so very much for giving this such a wonderful opportunity. It was good, great learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.